Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jeev Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So, continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 14th chapter, the disappearance of Lord Krishna, text number 23 onwards. So, the scene is Maharaj Yudhishthir was speaking with Bhimsen, and he was lamenting all the bad omens and the signs that he was seeing. That means the Kali Yuga is going to fast approach. So, he was very much worried, especially about that maybe Krishna has left, gone back to his spiritual world. So when he was discussing with Bhimsen, and he was discussing, it's been 7 months since Arjun has gone to Dwarka, and then Arjun comes back, and then let's see what he says. Text 23. Tam padayor nepatitam yatha purvamaturam adho vadanam abinduna srijantam nainavjayo. When he bowed at his feet, the king saw that his dejection was unprecedented. His head was down, and tears glided from his lotus eyes. So this was situation of Arjun. Vilokyodvigrihadyo vichayam anujam nripaha prichati sma surin madhe sansmarannaradderitam. CP Singh Guru. Seeing Arjun pale due to heartfelt anxieties, the king, remembering the indications of sage Narad, questioned him in the midst of friends. Text 25. Yudhishthira Kachid Narthapuryamna Swajana Sukhamasate Madhu Bhoj Dasharhar Hasat Vadandhaka Vrishnaya. Maharaj Yudhishthir said, My dear brother, please tell me whether our friends and relatives such as Madhu, Bhoj, Dasharha, Arha, Satvat, Andhak, and the members of Yadu dynasty are all passing their days in happiness. Because Arjun was gone through all these kingdoms to reach Dwarka. Shruro matam aha kachit swastyaste vatmarisha matulah sanujah kachit kushalyanak dundubhi. Is my respectable grandfather Shurasena in a happy mood? And are my maternal uncle Vasudev and his younger brothers all doing well? Saptasva sarastapatnyo matulanyah sahatmajah asate sasrishya kshemam devaki pramukha swayam. His 7 wives, headed by Devaki, are all sisters. Are they and their sons and daughters-in-law all happy? Kachid raja huko jivati satputro vasya chanujaha hridika sasato akruro jayant gadasaranaha asate kushalam kachid ye chad shatru jidadayaha kachidaste sukham ramo bhagwan satvatam prabhu. Our Ugrasen, whose son was a mischievous Kansa and his younger brothers still living, are Hrdika and his son Kritavarma happy? Are Akrura, Jayant, Gad, Sharang, and Satrajit all happy? How's Balram, the personality of Godhead and the protector of devotees? Hastinapur, the capital of the Pandavas, was situated somewhere near present New Delhi, and the kingdom of Ugrasen was situated in Mathura. While returning to Delhi from Dwarka, Arjuna must have visited the city of Mathura, and therefore the inquiry about the king of Mathura is valid. Amongst various names of the relatives, the names of Ram and Balram, eldest brother of Lord Krishna, is added with the words, the personality of Godhead, because Lord Balram is an immediate expansion of Vishnu Tattva as Prakash Vigraha of Lord Krishna. The Supreme Lord, although one without his second, expands himself as many other living beings. The Vishnu Tattva living beings are expansions of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are qualitatively and quantitatively equal with the Lord. But expansions of the Jiva Shakti, the category of the ordinary living beings, are not at all equal with the Lord. One who considers the Jiva Shakti and Vishnu Tattva to be on the equal level is considered a condemned soul of the world. So Prabhupada clearly says, yeah, that when Yudhishthira Maharaj is addressing Balramji, he's saying he's Bhagwan, Satvatam Pati. But the Jivas are not at the same level as Krishna or Bhagwan. So, and Prabhupada later writes, Shri Ram or Balram is a protector of the devotees of the Lord. Baladev acts as a spiritual master of all devotees, and by his causeless mercy, the fallen souls are delivered. Sri Baladev appeared as Sri Nityananda Prabhu during the advent of Lord Chaitanya, and the great Lord Nityananda Prabhu exhibited his causeless mercy by delivering a pair of extremely fallen souls, namely Jagai and Madhai. Therefore, it's particularly mentioned herein that Balaram is a protector of the devotees of the Lord. By his divine grace only one can approach the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. And thus Balram is a mercy incarnation of the Lord, manifested as a spiritual master, the savior of the pure devotees. So Balramji, here Prabhupada is saying, is manifested as a spiritual master. He's a Adi Guru. Adi Guru to take everybody to the service of Krishna. And today being the teacher's day, Balramji is the original teacher actually. Of course, on one side, Srimati Radharani is also the original teacher because he also takes everybody to Krishna. So whoever surrenders to Srimati Radharani to get that kind of mood of service, it's up to them. And whoever surrenders to Balramji to get that mood, for them Balramji is a eternal teacher or original teacher. Text 30. प्रद्युम्न सर्ववृष्णीनां सुखम आसते महारथः गंभीरयोर अनिरुद्धो वर्धते भगवानुतः. How is Pradyumna, the great general of the Vrishni family? Is he happy? And is Aniruddh, the plenary expansion of the personality of Godhead, faring well? Pradyumna and Aniruddh are also expansions of the personality of Godhead, and thus they are also Vishnu Tattva. At Dwarka, Lord Vasudev is engaged in his transcendental pastimes along with his plenary expansions, namely Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And therefore, each and every one of them can be addressed as a personality of Godhead, as it is mentioned in connection with the name Aniruddha. So that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj is addressing him as Bhagwan. सुषेणश्चारु देशनश्च साम्बो जाम्बवती सुतः अन्ये च कार्षणे प्रवरः सपुत्र ऋषभादयः. Are all the chieftain sons of Lord Krishna, such as Sushen, Charudeshna, Samba, the son of Jambati, and Rishab, along with their sons, all doing well? So Yudhishthira Maharaj is like he's beating around the bush. First, he's asking about everybody. He's not asking about Krishna yet, because he's anticipating an answer which he's not going to like. So he's not asking about Krishna. And let's see what Prabhupada says. As already mentioned, Lord Krishna married 16,108 wives, and each of them had 10 sons. Therefore, 16,800 times 16,108 times 10, so 161,080 sons. They all grew up, and each of them had as many sons as their father, and the whole aggregate was something nearly 16 lakh 10,800 family members of the Lord. Pretty big family. I don't know how they would handle a family reunion every time. The Lord is the Father of all living beings who are countless in number. Therefore, only few of them are called to associate with the Lord in his transcendental pastimes as a Lord of Dwarka on this earth. It's not astonishing that the Lord maintained a visible family consisting of so many members. It's better to refrain from comparing the Lord's position to ours. And it becomes a simple truth as soon as we understand at least a partial calculation of the Lord's transcendental position. King Yudhishthira, while inquiring about the Lord's sons and grandsons at Dwarka, mentioned only the chieftains among them, for it was impossible for him to remember all the names of the Lord's family members. Maybe in some scripture all these names are given, but in Bhagavatam it's only few names. Even Sutta Goswami or Shukdev Goswami mentioned. तथैवानुचुराशोरे श्रुतदेवो धवादयः सुनन्दनन्दशीर्ष्णया ये चान्ये सात्वत ऋषभा अपि स्वस्त्यास्ते सर्वे रामकृष्णभुजाश्रयः अपि स्मरन्ति कुशलम् अस्माकं बद्धसौहृदाः. Also, Shrutadev, Uddhav, and others, Nanda, Sunanda, and other leaders of liberated souls who are constant companions of the Lord, are protected by Lord Balram and Krishna. Are they all doing well in their respective functions? Do they, who are all eternally bound in relationship with us, remember our welfare? The constant companions of Lord Krishna, such as Uddhav, are all liberated souls, and they descended along with Lord Krishna to this material world to fulfill the mission of the Lord. The Pandavas are also liberated souls who descended along with Krishna to serve him in his transcendental pastimes on this earth. So they all had a special purpose. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, the Lord and his eternal associates who are also liberated souls like the Lord come down on this earth at certain intervals. The Lord remembers them all, but his associates, all the liberated souls, forget due to their being Tatastha Shakti or marginal potency of the Lord. But all the associates of Lord, they don't come under Tatastha Shakti. Some could be Vishnu Tattva also. But there are many other tattva. Tattva means a category. So like Krishna, Narsimdev, Ram, Vamandev, Varadev, they all come in Vishnu Tattva or Vishnu category. And then we all come in Jeev Tattva or Jeev category. But there are so many other categories. Sometimes people get confused, but there are so many others. Just like Lord Shiva, he has his own Tattva, Shiv Tattva. Shiv Tattva is not Jiva and he's not Vishnu Tattva either. And then there is a category for Durga Ji, because she doesn't come under Jiva category, Shiva category, or Vishnu category. So she has Shakti Tattva. That's the Shakti Tattva. And then Srimati Radharani, she doesn't come in any of those categories. So she has her own Tattva, her own category, Radha Tattva. And Guru also, of course, he is a jiva, but he is at such a level that he cannot be compared to an ordinary fallen souls like us. But at the same time, Guru is not Vishnu Tattva, so he has a Guru Tattva. He acts under Guru Tattva, Guru category. So there are so many categories. Normally, we just read about Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva. There are so many others. The Jeev Tattvas are infinitesimal potential particles of the Lord, and therefore they require the protection of the Lord at all times. And to the eternal servitors of the Lord is pleased to give all protection at all times. The liberated souls, however, never therefore think themselves as free as the Lord or as powerful as the Lord. but they always seek the protection of the Lord in all circumstances, both in the material and in the spiritual world. This is a unique characteristic of liberated souls. They consider themselves always dependent upon Krishna. This dependence of the liberated soul is constitutional, for the liberated souls are like the sparks of a fire that are able to exhibit the glow of the fire along with the fire and not independently. So they understand, or they have realized it, that our glow is there as long as we are connected, we are associated, or we have taken shelter of the original fire. Independently, the glow of the sparks is extinguished, although the quality of fire or the glowing is there. Thus, those who give up the protection of the Lord and become so called lords themselves out of spiritual ignorance come back again to this material world, even after prolonged tapasya of the severest time. That is the verdict of all Vedic literature. So, those who give up the protection of the Lord and become so called lords themselves, they come back to this material world even after prolonged tapasya. Means after prolonged tapasya, one can merge in Brahmjyoti. But Prabhupada is saying they also come back. Because their aim is, what they say, is so aham or aham brahmasmi. So aham means I am that. Aham brahmasmi means I am spiritual. But they cannot be equal to Krishna. So aham, I am that. That means, that could mean I'm spiritual person. I'm a spiritual being, which is okay for the soul. But thinking or saying that I am Krishna, I am God, that is nonsense. That cannot happen. I am part and parcel of God, yes. I'm qualitatively same as God, but quantitatively I'm very, very, very minute. But almost like I would say 99% of the population today want to think, or they think that they are God. And this is where our preaching should come in the picture. Bhagwan api Govindo Brahmanyo Bhaktavatsala Kachit Puresu Dharmayam Sukhamaste Suhridvrita. Is Lord Krishna. Now he is finally asking about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who gives pleasure to the cows, the senses, and the Brahmins, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, enjoying the pious assembly at Dwarkapuri, surrounded by friends. Here in this particular verse, the Lord is described as Bhagwan, Govind, the Brahmanya, and Bhaktavatsa. He's Bhagwan Swayam, or the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, full with all opulences, all power, all knowledge, all beauty, all fame, and all renunciation. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is Govinda because he gives the pleasure, he is the pleasure of the cows and the senses. Those who have purified their senses by the devotional service of the Lord can render unto him real service and thereby derive transcendental pleasure out of such purified senses. So Govinda, name Govinda actually doesn't mean one who gives pleasure to my senses. Govinda means I have to give him pleasure, so in return, or or as a matter of my serving him, my senses get pleased. So that's why his name is Govinda. Only the impure conditioned living being cannot derive any pleasure from the senses, but being illusioned by false pleasure of the senses, he becomes servant of the senses. Therefore, we need his protection, for Krishna's protection, for our own interest. The Lord is a protector of cows and the Brahmanical culture. A society devoid of cow protection and Brahmanical culture is not under the direct protection of the Lord, just as the prisoners in the jails are not under the protection of the king, but under the protection of a severe agent of the king. So those who don't go as what Krishna wants them to do, then they lose the protection of Krishna. So long purport. The Lord is inclined to a Brahman of quality and not of false prestige. Those who are less than a Brahman by qualification cannot establish any relationship with the Lord, just as fire cannot be kindled from the raw earth unless there is wood, although there is a relation between wood and earth. So Prabhupada is giving a nice example. He says, fire cannot be kindled from raw earth until there is wood. The wood only can catch fire, not earth. Although they constitutionally they both are same, wood and earth. So similarly, a Brahman who's Brahman in name only, he cannot get the special mercy of Krishna. Except the Brahmins who are actually Brahmins. By quality, they are Brahmins. Since the Lord is all perfect in himself, there could not be any question of his welfare. And Maharaj Yudhishthira refrained from asking this question. He simply inquired about his residential palace, Dwarkapuri, where pious men assemble. The Lord stays only where pious men assemble and takes pleasure in the glorifying the supreme truth. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, see how anxious he is to find out about Dwarka. So we'll stop here, continue again tomorrow. Anybody has any questions or comments? Still, Arjun hasn't started to speak yet, so please hold on to the surprise.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Brahmana means the definition we get in scriptures, like the one who follows the yam niyam and other things, or the Brahmana means the person who is Brahman Dikshit, or the Brahmana means just the devotee of Lord, or who maintains the Brahmanical purity by cleanliness.
Brahman, according to the definition, is that who does this yajan, patan, patan, dan, pratigara. But Vaishnav, a person who is double initiated, is called Brahman initiated. He is also a Brahman, but he is also a Vaishnav at the same time. So he is in concept, in principle, he is better than Brahman. But he has to have those qualities of Brahman also. And the qualities are mentioned nicely in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So the qualities is the one that we have to develop. So yes, by mercy of bona fide Guru, one can become Brahman or second initiated. But for the qualities to be developed, he has to work. He has to really train himself hard. So yeah, thanks for nice question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, test 29. But there's Krishna ke Prakash Vigrah hai, like, Balram ji. Yeah. So Balram ji isn't Sheshnag.
Sheshnag is expansion of Balramji.
Acha.
I think devotees were asking me because Balram Purnima we didn't have the lecture. So maybe Friday, Saturday or Sunday we'll have the whole Katha of Balramji. So everybody understands what's the position of Balramji. But Sheshnag is expansion of Balramji because just like Vishnu is expansion of Krishna. Vishnu is also expansion of Balramji because first expansion in Balramji. So to serve Vishnu, Balramji expands as Sheshnag to serve Vishnu. So anytime Vishnu is there, Sheshnag is there, Anand Shesh. So to serve him. So that's his mood. Balramji's mood is always to serve Krishna.
And with Ramji also, the Balramji has come with as a Lakshman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a wonderful incident when Krishna was going to come as in Dwapar Yuga. So Krishna asked Balramji to come. Balramji said, "See, when we when you came as Ram, when you went as Ram and I went as Lakshman, I was your younger brother, so I could not stop you from going to forest because I was younger. You were elder. I had to listen to you. So in this incarnation, I'm going to be elder brother. So at least you listen to me." But Krishna said, "Okay, but he still never listened to Balramji." That's a different story. So Balramji came as elder brother, but Krishna still never listened to him.
And Prabhuji, another question: why Ramji has gone for 14 years, like for exact 14? Why the 14 number? Why not 12 or 10 or any other?
Well,
Is there any
that was a
connection?
connection. There is a
Sorry.
connection. There is a connection.
Uh-huh.
First of all, that was a condition put by Mother Kaikai. 14
My
years.
question is why the
But
14?
then why 14? Why 14? Why she asked for 14?
Mm-hmm.
Saraswati sat on Kaikai's tongue to speak of 14. Why? Because one reason is Indrajit, Meghnad, he had a benediction that he could be only killed by a person who hasn't eaten or hasn't slept for 14 years. And Lakshmanji was the only one who did that 14 years. He didn't eat anything and he didn't sleep a wink. But that is one reason. Well, there could be other reasons also. So, see, like we sometimes we try to put blame on Kekai or Manthara that they did this wrong, that wrong, but they're all part of pastimes of Ram. They cannot do anything wrong. They're just actors. That's all.
Right.
Ram wants to do something through them, and he's doing that. Krishna wanted to do through Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra and everybody, and so his Mahabharata could go on, Bhagavad Gita could be spoken. So they all played the part.
I read somewhere that because Ramji is 14 Kala Sampurna. So that is why, that that may be wrong.
Yeah, that's.
So it was this 14-year exam.
No.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata. So I guess we can stop. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare